Have you ever tried to explain yourself, only to see things spiral out of control? You defended your actions at work and suddenly, the rumor spread faster. You tried to justify yourself in an argument and you looked weaker, not stronger. You spoke up online to clear your name and the backlash doubled. Why does this happen? Why does defending yourself, something that feels so natural, often destroy your credibility, respect, and power? Defending yourself feels like the right thing to do, especially when you know you're not at fault. But here's the paradox. The moment you start explaining, you often make things worse. Why? Because defense is a reaction, not an act of power. It immediately puts you on the back foot. You are no longer the one in control. You've accepted the attacker's frame, where you must prove your innocence. In doing so, you validate the accusation. You send the message, "This matters to me. I'm worried." That fear is exactly what people pick up on. It doesn't matter how solid your facts are. If your tone is defensive, people start to doubt you. Power lies in composure. The moment you scramble to clear your name, you look guilty, even if you're not. The more you talk, the more you appear unsure, and that's what people remember. Not your arguments, but your tone, your energy, your desperation. This is why powerful people rarely explain themselves. They understand that silence or calm confidence sends a louder message. I'm not threatened by this. Defending yourself emotionally is often the fastest way to lose respect and control. Over-explaining is one of the most subtle ways people lose power, and they don't even realize it. When someone questions your actions, your instinct might be to give every detail, every reason, every justification. You believe that more explanation equals more clarity. But in reality, the opposite happens. The more you explain, the weaker you appear. Why? Because over-explaining signals insecurity. It tells others that you are not confident in your own position. It says, "Please believe me." And when people sense that you're seeking approval, they instinctively view you as less powerful. In the workplace, if you try to clarify too much, people start to think, "Why is he so defensive? Is there more to the story?" In relationships, explaining every emotion or action can feel like you're trying too hard to be understood, when real confidence comes from being okay with not always being perfectly understood. Powerful people speak less, not more. They give just enough information to be clear and then stop. This restraint projects authority. It tells others, "I said what I needed to say. I don't owe you anything more." Over-explaining may feel like control, but it's often just disguised desperation. You might believe that if you just present the facts, people will understand. But human beings don't operate that way. We judge based on emotions, instincts, and appearances, long before we process logic. The person who appears confident, composed, and unaffected is usually believed more than the one who frantically explains, even if that frantic person is telling the truth. This is the fatal mistake many people make when defending themselves. They think facts matter more than energy, but the way you carry yourself, the calm in your voice, the control in your tone, matters far more. When you defend yourself, especially with emotion, you trigger suspicion. People don't ask, "Is this person right?" They ask, "Why is this person so nervous?" This is why powerful people rarely engage in desperate explanations. They don't need to. Their silence, or short, firm statements, frame them as being in control. They understand that once you look like you're scrambling, you've already lost, even if every word you say is true. The lesson? Never assume truth is enough. Control how you're perceived. Project calm, certainty, and strength. Because in the court of public opinion, or even private conversation. People don't remember your facts. They remember how you made them feel. And the person who feels strong always beats the one who feels desperate. Perception builds trust, and trust builds influence. If you want to win in high-stakes situations, stop focusing only on what's true. Focus on what people see, hear, and feel. Because when perception is on your side, you don't need to explain. You already look like you've won. In 16th century Florence, a city of political games and deadly ambition, two men faced public accusations, but handled them in entirely different ways. The first was a young military commander, accused of plotting against a powerful family. His friends begged him to defend himself, fearing for his reputation. But he chose silence. He showed up at public events, spoke about everything except the rumor, and acted completely unbothered. Years later, a wealthy merchant was accused of fraud. He panicked. He made public statements, wrote letters, confronted critics in the streets. His denials were long, emotional, and constant. And slowly, the perception shifted. Even those who once trusted him began to question his innocence. The more he tried to defend himself, the more people believed the worst. Two men, two accusations. One stayed silent and appeared powerful. The other explained too much and lost everything. Their stories reveal a timeless truth. In the eyes of others, how you respond matters more than what you say. Silence isn't weakness. It's often the most powerful move you can make. Niccolò Machiavelli, the ruthless political strategist of Renaissance Italy, understood something that most people still struggle with today. Power isn't about being right. It's about appearing unshakable. That's why he gave this brutal advice. Never defend yourself. Silence is strength, and words are traps. Here's a simple 3-step method to decide. 1. Pause before reacting. 2. Evaluate the stakes. 3. Defend with precision. Most people lose power because they defend themselves at the wrong time and in the wrong way. Machiavelli's rule is clear. Silence is strength. Master this balance, and you'll never be trapped by words again. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for upcoming videos.